We are here to answer the burning question. Can a keto, sugar-free, gluten-free, low-carb Christmas cookie be good? You're gonna have to wait to find out. Oh, it is so cold in LA this week. I don't have everything I need for my little cooking adventure today. Almond flour. Get it now. Hello. Welcome to my ugly kitchen. As I like to say, right now it's a little noisy because my dishwasher is taking its sweet time to do what the hell it's doing. So just gonna have to go through with that. But I am going to do a little experiment today. It is the holiday season, which means, oh wow, it's really kicking it up a notch now. It's a little bit better. So I am definitely one of those people during the holiday season who is like a lover of Christmas cookies. I love baking them every year and I love consuming them. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the times when January 1st rolls around and I'm ready to be like back on my fitness goals, I just get really discouraged because I feel like I have like kind of a lot of weight to lose after the holiday season is over. And I'm not trying to sit here and say you shouldn't enjoy the full-on cookies and all the treats during Christmas. But this year I kind of want to experiment and see if I can make some low-carb, keto-friendly versions of my favorite Christmas cookies so that I can still have the enjoyment of the holiday season without all the guilt and without all the extra added weight gain. Now don't worry, I'm still gonna make my regular versions of the Christmas cookies because you know, they're obviously gonna be way better than these. But I found a couple recipes online. One for a sugar cookie recipe, one for a chocolate peanut butter drop cookie recipe, and give those a go today. And I'm gonna take you along the journey with me. And I'm gonna share some tips and tricks along the way about how I attempt to stay healthier during the holiday season so that I don't have to be set so far back come January 1st. Let's get into it. First of all, can I just say low carb baking is not cheap. A lot of times when you're doing like low carb baking recipes, it involves almond flour. It was $13.99 or something at the grocery store. This one was like, I found on the shelf slightly cheaper, like $10-ish, so I grabbed that, but had to grab like all this like swerve, all these different kinds of replacement sugars. I already had some almond flour, but I had to buy more because, you know, you never know with these things. I got a huge bag of urethral, I don't know, I can't say it. I had to order some peanut flour, which I had never heard of before, so we got a bunch of fun new ingredients that we're working with today. I'm gonna start out with the sugar cookie because that one has to refrigerate for a little bit before you can do anything to it. So let's go ahead and make that dough. I need a bigger kitchen. This recipe tells you to mix everything in a food processor, which is pretty different for me. But first of all, you're gonna want to mix all the dry ingredients. And they say to do it in a food processor because it really makes or breaks down the urethral, the thing that I can't pronounce, and makes it a lot more fine. Now it's time to throw in the wet ingredients. Got ourselves some dough here. All right, put the dough in a Ziploc bag. Sort of flatten it to kind of like fat pancake and refrigerate for 20 minutes or overnight. So we're gonna stick this in the fridge and make the rest of the cookies. Question is, how's the cookie dough? It's weird. It might have potential. We'll see. Next, we are going to make the chocolate peanut butter blossoms because those sound so good. I preheated the oven, and this one does not call for a food processor. I mean, that is definitely the first time I've ever made cookie dough in a food processor. Is that normal?
For this recipe, grab a bowl and combine all of your dry ingredients and then whisk them together thoroughly. You're going to take your peanut butter and your butter and put it in a mixer bowl and blend it thoroughly. Next, add in your replacement sugar. Then finally add in your bowl of dry ingredients and blend until the dough forms.
All right, let's try this dough. Very peanut buttery. I'm a fan. That's combined with the chocolate. I think it's gonna be. Bake cookies and you don't have a Silpat yet, I'm telling you, they will change your life. Now, the fun part, we're gonna roll it into some little balls. It makes a lot of dough. I know I said I would share some like little things that I do to sort of stay healthy during the holiday season. Now seems like a good time to do that since I'm gonna be working with my hands for a while, but one thing that I think is like the key during the holidays and during any time, during the holidays when things are pretty stressful, is first of all to get enough sleep. I definitely have not valued sleep as like a health thing as much in the past, but I'm starting to realize that it really plays such a huge key in everything. Like you need at least 7 hours of sleep for your body to be able to rest, to be able to function, help deal with like stress levels. Getting 7 hours of sleep, I know it can be hard depending on what you do during the holiday season. Like I know for me, the holidays can be like the craziest time of year. Q4 in general is the craziest time of year for me, but it's very important for your health. The next thing also is kind of a general thing, not just during the holidays, but I think it's worth noting, is to remember to stay hydrated. I am the worst at getting enough water, but especially during the holidays, I think it's important because you're running around, you got a lot going on, and especially with all the holiday parties, for me, like that means a good amount of drinking. So definitely making sure that you stay hydrated is so key because drinking obviously dehydrates you. Being hydrated just really helps your body function at such a more optimal level. So you just got to help your body out in whatever way possible. The key thing that I think is to never skip the gym. Now, I don't normally skip the gym anyway. I am going in the gym multiple times a week, 365 days a year. I'm definitely not one of those people that like wake up the beginning of January and they're like, oh man, I gotta go get a gym membership and get in shape. No, I realize I might not be like the norm. So I think definitely making sure it doesn't have to be the gym either. Like I say, don't skip the gym, but what I really mean is don't skip being active, because you really have to make sure to stay active, especially if you're going to be eating like treats and stuff, to sort of like offset all the like calories, you know? And even if you can't really do like a whole workout, just, you know, getting a good walk in. I've really been trying lately, in addition to my daily workouts that I do, which is like a mix of strength training, kickboxing, HIIT training, Pilates, some yoga, is to try to make sure that in addition to that, I get 10,000 steps in a day, which some days is harder than other days depending on how busy I am. But just maybe having that goal of like not necessarily going to the gym, but like making sure that you're getting in X amount of steps a day so that you know your activity levels are up, even when, you know, you might be consuming things a little bit more unhealthily than you might normally. Really important to live your life. We all want to be healthy and fit, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't sacrifice enjoying your life for what the scale says. I think the holidays are one of those times where you can let yourself have that excuse to like try something that's a treat or something that, you know, isn't necessarily healthy for you. I definitely eat a lot more stuff that I never would normally eat during the rest of the year during the holidays, and I think not beating yourself up for it, because you only get to live once. So as long as everything is in moderation, you're not going crazy overboard, just be good to yourself. But then, you know, you can try things like this, like what we're doing today, and maybe have like an alternative for yourself that sort of gives you that sweet craving fix, but doesn't really cost you in terms of calories or your macros or whatever your plan is. The next thing that I really focus on is trying to really focus on eating right day to day. And so that I know when I do go to a party or I do go to a gathering, when there's like wine or there's cookies or treats or cake or whatever it is, I know that like the majority of the time I've been good. You know, it's kind of like the 80-20 rule. So unless you're going to like a party every single night, then you might need to come up with a different strategy. But for me, I don't really have like a whole lot of things to go to this holiday season. So I know when I do go to them, I've been good on my normal days. And so I can kind of give myself a little splurge moment on these special occasions because, you know, why not? I'm using this device, which maybe some of you have seen me talk about on my Instagram stories, or maybe I've shared about it on a vlog here or there somewhere, but it's this thing called a lumen, and it looks like a vape, but you basically blow into it and it tells you what your metabolism is burning. It's really interesting. I'm working on a video, more in-depth video about my experience with it, so stay tuned. I'm gonna have that live after the new year because I really want to like do justice to it. One thing that I kind of stay away from doing until it is like sort of the holiday time is weighing myself regularly. I don't normally weigh myself regularly because I find it to be kind of discouraging, but during the holidays I think it's kind of important because it gives you a little bit more of a gauge of where you're at, and so that way you're checking in with your body every couple of days or every week so that you know like when to rein it in, and scale things back a little bit if you need to, so that way when you go and step on the scale January 1st, when you've got all those fitness resolutions, it doesn't feel quite such a shock. If you don't want to step on the scale, I would say having a pair of pants, like a pair of jeans that you know are like your skinny jeans. I definitely have a pair like that I put on like once a week or so just to see how they fit me. And I know when they start to get tight that is not good and I need to take some measures. If you don't really want to step on the scale, having like a piece of clothing that you know will kind of give you that gauge is also something you can do. Just putting that on a couple times a week just to see where you're at. You have to kind of like smush them a little bit. You gotta make little holes. Maybe if I get a shot glass. This one's a little bit smaller on the bottom, so hopefully it's better. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be way better. Yes, much better. And then these are gonna need to be reshaped a little bit. Nate is at the dentist right now. He should be coming home soon, but I feel like when he comes back, he's going to kind of flip out when he sees this kitchen. I'm a little bit messy when I cook, and when I bake, I'm really messy. I like to like describe my process as sort of being like a mad scientist. Like I just kind of come in and I just throw it together, no matter what the consequences of the aftermath may be. And it ends up looking like a tornado aftermath, but I clean it up later, trying to like get those cookies in the oven and get them baking so I can eat them faster. Figured I needed some more protein for the day. My protein coffee, I love making this in the afternoon. It's such an easy way to get some more protein macros in if you struggle with that like I do. So I do 1 scoop of my Quest vanilla protein powder, and then coconut almond vanilla flavored milk, and then I do coffee concentrate, shake it up, and it's so good. It tastes like kind of like a frappuccino, but it's got a lot of protein in it. It's a great afternoon pick-me-up.
Next, you're going to create your chocolate filling mixture with chocolate and butter, well, sugar-free chocolate. I took the cookies out of the oven, and while they were cooling, I sprinkled some erythritol on them just to give them a little bit of extra sweetness.
While I let those cool, because they have to cool, and then the chocolate melty mixture has to sort of set and cool down a little bit before you pour it in. My friend Michael, who I've been working on a Christmas romantic comedy with, just sent me the rough cut of the party scene from the movie. I have not seen any scenes. Actually, I have seen one scene from the movie, but none that I'm in, so I'm gonna watch it while I wait. I'm so excited. Some chocolate in these cookies. Okay, had dinner. It's time to try the sugar-free, low-carb peanut butter blossom. This is actually really good considering it's like 1 net carb and 0 sugar. Oh my god. Highly recommend these. Nate just left for work and he just texted me that he's just stared down a coyote in our back alleyway. I got a little bit over ambitious with wanting to make 3 different cookies today, especially like cookie cutter ones. I didn't even do those yet because the instructions say that you need parchment paper to place underneath and on top of the cookie dough when you're rolling it out, because the cookie dough will stick to your rolling pin, and I don't have parchment paper, so I'm gonna have to do those on a different day. So to be continued as far as the sugar-free, keto-friendly cookies for Christmas go, but I can say with confidence that this one is really good. I'll put the link in the description box for the original recipe where I found it so that I can give the original creator of the recipe some credit, but that's tasty. Last point I want to make about trying to stay healthy during the holiday season is to sort of take the focus off of the food when you're at certain events and focus more on the moment and your friends and family. Make it more about that than like building up all this anticipation for eating. And I find when I do that, I definitely don't eat as much because I'm more focused on being with people that I love and hanging out with them rather than what's to eat. So it's a little cheesy, but that is my last little stay healthy during the holidays tip. If you didn't catch the last episode of Vlogmas, I'll leave it right here for you so you can go check it out next. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you guys over there. If not, until next time, bye.